Hello everyone. Once again, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today, we are going to study the lesson My Childhood from the CBSE textbook Class 9 Beehive. So this is an extract from the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam, Wings of Fire, which revolves around the childhood of APJ Abdul Kalam. So here we see the famous quote by Dr. Kalam, and which happens to be my personal favorite. Don't read success stories, you will get only message. Read failure stories, you will get some ideas to get success. True indeed. Now, children, what are these? Any idea? Yes, you guessed it right. This is the autobiography Wings of Fire, from where my childhood, this extract has been taken. Now, the plot of my childhood, it revolves around the childhood of this renowned Indian figure, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. It starts with a few instances describing Kalam's childhood. He had a long and tough journey till he became a famous scientist and consequently the missile man of India. The way Kalam has been brought up, the simple family with high values, all these things I'm sure will give us some food for thought about our own childhood. Kalam talks about his family, siblings, and friends who played an important role in reshaping his life and helping him become who he wanted to be. Now let's move. So this is the very first paragraph of your textbook, of the text, My Childhood, where we know about the place where he was born, where he lived. So I want to mention one thing, that Kalam had three brothers and one sister whom he shared and enjoyed his childhood with. His parents were kind-hearted and simple people with great moral values. And Kalam spent his entire childhood and grew up living in his ancestral house. Now let us talk about Kalam's father. He was a very hardworking and a simple person. His entire focus and priorities were to fulfill the necessities of his family and provide them with a decent life. Kalam's parents were not educated and consequently not rich, but they had a heart of gold and high values of discipline and honesty. They always urged their children to follow their dreams and never forced their own decisions on them. And to talk about Kalam's mother, Ashiyama, she was a very kind, generous, and helpful lady. So the instance that tells us that she used to feed a number of people every day, irrespective of caste, creed, and color, itself justifies the fact that she was a great lady. Now, despite being a part of Muslim family, Kalam's family strongly believed and practiced secularism. They believed in the equality of all religions and never belittled anyone in any regard, as they were strictly against social inequality. The family happily enjoyed Hindu festivities and rituals. Also, as a child, Kalam heard a lot of stories of the Prophet, as well as Ramayana from his grandmother and mother. Childhood is incomplete without friends, and this held in the case of Kalam too. Kalam had three close friends while growing up, and they had a great influence and positive impact in his life. They always supported and motivated each other. To be better every day. And interestingly, all these friends were from different cultural backgrounds, but blended so well with each other. And these three friends were Ramanatha Sastri, Aravindan, and Shiva Prakashan. After he introduces his friends to the readers, the story prominently highlights an instance from Kalam's childhood when he was in his 5th grade. Kalam generally had a habit of wearing a cap, which gave him a distinct Muslim look. Also, he liked to sit on the same bench with one of his classmates named Ramanatha, whose father was a Hindu priest. As children, they both always felt very happy sitting next to each other. However, there was a new teacher who showed signs of narrow-mindedness and therefore couldn't tolerate this beautiful bond. He made a deliberate attempt to shift Kalam to the backbench so that the two friends can no longer sit together. This instance broke the hearts of Kalam and his friend Ramanatha. Both the children informed their parents about the sad incident to which Ramanatha's father came to meet their teacher and asked them to stop spreading communal hatred and social inequality. He even demanded an apology and warned in case if the teacher refuses, then he must quit. In response to this, the teacher quickly made an apology and reformed his behavior. There was another such instance from Kalam's childhood which never fails to touch the hearts of the people. There was an occasion where Abdul was invited by his science teacher and invited him to come home for dinner. The wife of the science teacher was skeptical about her beliefs in religious segregation and was, therefore, reluctant to serve him food. The science teacher loved Kalam immensely and had no such beliefs regarding the difference in religions. Therefore, he decided to serve him dinner and sat beside him to eat his meal. His wife observed all this from standing behind the door. This melted her heart a little and gradually changed her. Hence, when Kalam was invited the second time, the wife of the science teacher served him with the meal, but from the kitchen. The science teacher was happy that his wife's thought process changed at least bit by bit. By the time the Second World War ended, Kalam had grown up and thus his upbringing came to an end. He went out for his further studies at Ramanathapuram upon receiving permission from his parents. Although he was one of the most lovable children of the family, at some point in life, his parents had to be strong to let him go and live his dreams. Now here, towards the end, Kalam's father quotes the famous poet Khalil Gibran. What does that mean? What was the purpose of Kalam's father behind quoting Khalil Gibran? Kalam's father meant that every human being must be given the opportunity to build his or her life as his or her wishes. And parents should not hinder this effort. He spoke these words to convince Kalam's mother that her son's decision to leave home was right. She should allow him happily to shape his life according to his own ideas. So, let us look at the takeaway from this lesson. What is the theme of this particular lesson, My Childhood? This lesson tells us that a life shaped by our experiences and the people around us is worth living. Kalam's secure childhood, inspiring parents, supportive friends, and honest teacher instilled great values in him that gave him actually the wings of fire. And Dr. Kalam served as the 11th President of India from the year 2002 to 2007. So the values, the upbringing, they go a long way in shaping a person. From this lesson, we actually understand the meaning of the words, rather these heavy words: tolerance, acceptance, broad-mindedness, brotherhood. The story also shows us, enlightens us by giving us the message that confronting obstacles in order to reform social systems that are infected by prejudices of caste and status is necessary. So, after saying all this, we have seen the values imbibed by Dr. Kalam, which were thoroughly practiced in Kalam's house. The qualities, the virtues got automatically instilled in Kalam and his siblings from Kalam's father, Kalam's mother. That's why the last point says or highlights the contribution of Kalam's father and mother in his character build-up. So now it's your turn to think over all these and to acquire the actual essence of this particular lesson, My Childhood, written by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope after all this discussion, your vision, your opinion, your perception on Kalam's childhood, it has become clear. Thank you all. Good day.